Hello and welcome to the FCICA Product Promotional Webinar Series. We are pleased to have Jeff Johnson from MAPEI with us today to talk about their extensive line of products. And Jeff, I will turn it right over to you.
Thank you, Kelly, and thank you everyone for attending. I'm very excited about the opportunity to tell you a little bit about MAPEI's product offering for subfloor preparation and systems and solutions from MAPEI. We do have a lot to cover, so if you don't mind, we'll kind of just get started on this whole presentation. And I think we'll start with a polling question. Kelly, can you take from this?
I can. Okay, everyone, we're going to start out with a polling question first. And this polling question is subfloor preparation part of your responsibility, or do you subcontract this type of work out to other people? And we have several selections for you. I'm going to send this out electronically so you can make your selection and go ahead and do that now. And we'll give you a couple seconds to do that. Go ahead and make your best selection.
This just helps me a little bit understand the nature of who's on the phone and who's watching the webinar, so I can organize this a little bit more specifically for the group.
Okay, and we're going to close that poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
And the answers are?
Share those results with you.
Oh, cool. Excellent. So I'm speaking to people who actually get their hands in the muck and actually do the work, so that's very good. All right, Kelly, thank you very much for that. All right, so to get started, we'll start off with a couple of truths according to Jeff Johnson. And quite frankly, these are pretty simple truths. The first one is there is no such thing as a flat floor. You take a look at this slide you're looking on the screen here. This is actually a topographic map. It almost looks like the Rawa Wilderness in the Colorado Rockies of an actual Swedish hospital. I can't pronounce it. Issaquah case study, where you'll actually see where they did a laser scan of a floor in a medical facility, and it went from anywhere from 0 flat up in the upper right-hand corner to that screen, almost to 2 1/4 inches depth variation on that floor. So this is pretty common. This obviously is an exaggerated image of that topographical map to give you some idea what they are, but this is what we deal with on a daily basis, and that's why we need to do subfloor prep in one form or another. The second truth is that they are very rarely dry enough for us to install floor covering materials. This again is another map, if you will, of a building that had various calcium chloride test kits assembled. And you can see the range from everywhere from, where's the lowest number, 2.92 all the way up to 16.83. So if we were installing sheet vinyl in this particular facility, we would have some issues to deal with. And that's another part of the subfloor preparation module that we have to deal with here with MAPEI. Another polling question, Kelly, if we can take this one.
Absolutely. Okay, our next polling question: when it comes to moisture issues on concrete substrates, how often is it a problem when it comes time to install the flooring? And I'm going to go ahead and launch this as well, and you can make your selection now. And we'll give you a couple seconds to make your selection. All right, looks like everybody's chiming in on this one. I'm going to go ahead and close this poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And here are your results.
Excellent. Pretty much what I expected in my conversations with various contractors throughout the U.S. and elsewhere. It almost always seems to be an issue when it comes time to install the floor covering. One, it's not dry enough, it's not flat enough, and it always causes some delay. So it does seem like it's a very common occurrence, and MAPEI has some wonderful solutions on how to prepare and take care of all that. So let's get into this a little bit. Oh, and the last truth that I have for you as well is that no two concrete slabs are ever the same. It's always a guess as to what's going to be next and what the problems are on any particular slab. So it is kind of an art form, and we have some ways to deal with that from MAPEI. The one thing I wanted to tell you, or suggest for you, and we'll get into this a little bit deeper, is that it would be nice if there was a one-stop solution for all these products. You take a look at this coffee shop and you see all these choices of pastries and danishes and so on and so forth, but having only one version of coffee to go along with that, not necessarily the right way to run your business. So you'll need to have some options to pick from, and that's what MAPEI is here to talk to you about, and we'll get into that. So if you think that all MAPEI is a bag of Planet Patch, which surprisingly enough, some people think that's all we do make, welcome to the tip of the iceberg. MAPEI is very strong in this particular product category, and we have a tremendous amount of things to offer and talk to you about today. Briefly, we're going to go over the FCIS product line for moisture control and subfloor preparation. FCIS, for those of you who don't understand what the acronyms mean, it means Floor Covering Installation Systems. I call myself an FCIS product manager, so that's what that stuff stands for. For the MAPEI product line, these are products for moisture control and some subfloor preparation, which we'll talk a lot about here later on, but you can see I have 3 moisture control solutions, 5 patching solutions, some primers, 6 primers that are involved here, and when we get into our self-leveling underlayments, you're looking at approximately 11 different solutions for self-leveling underlayments. A lot of things to deal with, and we're going to help you understand the product line, when to use what, and how to make the right selection going forward. So we're going to start off by taking a look at MAPEI's moisture control solutions, and the products we have in this particular product category include and start with PlanetSeal VS. It's our alkali-resistant epoxy moisture reduction barrier. This is our gold standard, if you will, for moisture control. It is a 2-component epoxy system that meets the requirements of the ASTM F3010 standard for permeability and functionality. It is the best solution on the market today when it comes to dealing with subfloor moisture vapor emissions rates. It is in a 3-gallon kit. Mixed part A and part B applies to the floor. The minimum requirements are a 10 mil dry film thickness for performance attributes. Coverage rates are anywhere from 125 to 150 square feet per gallon, so a 3-gallon unit is roughly 400 to 450 square feet, and applies quite easily, and cures up in about 8 hours once applied. We have another solution as well called PlanetSeal VS Fast. Very similar in composition, however, a faster setting version. Again, it's ASTM F3010 compliant, 2-component epoxy system, extremely low permeability rates, but does have a shorter curing time. It is where the PlanetSeal VS was about an 8-hour cure time. PlanetSeal VS is in the 5 to 8 hours, 5 to 6 hours, excuse me. And I would always recommend, if you really want to double check my truths and assume that I'm not doing alternative facts like some other people we know are doing, always check our TDS online to make sure that you're looking at the right particular product. Okay, something I wanted to tell you about these products, and I forgot about them. I'll bring them back at some point. The last product we have on our line is a product called PlanetSeal Easy. This is what we call a standard fresh concrete treatment. It is suitable for use on concrete slabs up to 8 pounds of moisture vapor emission and 90% RH. It is kind of a little bit of an insurance policy for those concrete slabs that are towards the end of their drying pattern. It applies quite easily with a roller. It's green in color. It's very easy to see. And it does allow you to install other adhesives on top of that may be sensitive to those kind of elevated moisture conditions. You do have to keep in mind that when this is applied to a subfloor, it does create a non-porous substrate, and you'll need to deal with whatever installation material you're using on top of it accordingly. For example, you can't use a wet lay adhesive on top of Planasteel Easy and be able to bond flooring on it. You'll need to use a pressure-sensitive material or apply some other version of a primer and a leveler or skim coat the surface of it to have some sort of porosity to install. Our epoxies, for example, also can be direct bonded to with pressure-sensitive adhesive systems, but generally we recommend and highly encourage you to cover them with a primer and some sort of a cementitious material to protect that membrane from damage and not cause any voids in the film. So those are our three solutions for moisture control protection in the family. And if I can get to the next slide somehow, bear with me. I think it's coming. So how do you pick which one is right? For simple solutions, the age of the concrete substrate. If it's old and you have high moisture vapor emission rates, we always recommend that you would pick an epoxy solution just because it's has that kind of issue. It's concrete that's of age, should be relatively dry, but if the moisture limits are high, that's indicative of a breach in the moisture vapor barrier below it or some other issue that needs to be addressed, maybe in hydrostatic pressure. You would need to apply an epoxy. The moisture vapor emission rates and RH readings definitely are some indicator as to which product you need to use. There's no reason to bring out a sledgehammer to drive a finish nail. What I mean by that is to use an epoxy solution when the moisture vapor emission rates are less than 8 pounds. You can use products like Planasteel Easy for that particular reading. I do want to mention one thing about our epoxies in terms of subfloor preparation. We do ask that those slabs be profiled with a CSP or 2 or 3, or we do have an option of a no profile solution as long as those subfloors are pristine condition. That means extremely clean, no taco sauce, no hydraulic fluids, no oils and debris, and they must be porous. That means the water drop test on a concrete slab must penetrate in the concrete slab. If those conditions are occurred, then you can direct apply an epoxy to those kind of concrete slabs. In my experience for this industry, that doesn't happen very often, particularly on an active construction site with the amount of traffic that's involved in a job site. It's very important for epoxy functionality or any moisture vapor barrier, frankly, to function is to have a very clean and porous substrate on which to grab onto. It is your insurance policy for the surface that's going on top of it, so it's highly important to make sure the subfloor is clean so that those membranes have a chance to lock on. pH level is another reason to pick from it. If it is over a pH of 11, then your only solution from MAPEI's recommendation would be an epoxy solution. Those are tested, again, according to the ASTM F3010, up to a pH level of 14 with no effect. So those are your solutions for those kind of slabs that are pumping a lot of moisture, they're pumping a lot of alkali. They are the right choice for that kind of slab. If your pH is less than 11, your options include Planasteel Easy at that point. Warranty requirements are also how you pick from them. Our Planasteel VS and VS Fast are what we consider lifetime warranty solutions. As long as they're properly installed and are not broken or cracked or damaged in any shape or form, they will perform for the life of the floor in which is installed on top of them. That's how we position it. Okay, so those are some of the reasons how you pick from those 3 products. Okay, now we're going to move on to patching solutions and take a look at MAPEI's offering for materials that are applied by hand in those applications for patching. And we start off with a product called Planetex UNS. Many of you may or may not know this, but we do produce some gypsum-based products in the MAPEI product offering. This is a gypsum-based floor patching compound, perfect material for repairing existing gypsum substrates. Works very well over plywood materials as well, a very solid product for residential installations, etc. But it is a very good product for what it is, can fill a lot of holes, can be actually used in drywall and plaster walls, and does not support the mold and mildew growth that the gypsum in the past history may have done, but that is a gypsum-based patch available for you. Planet Patch is probably one of MAPEI's largest selling items in the North American continent, and we thank you for your business on that. For those of you who are using it, it's a very robust material. It's a fast-drying, self-curing, polymer-modified cement-based patching compound that does a lot of things. It does fill voids and smooth out surfaces quite easily, sands nicely when it needs to be, the ridges knocked off, etc. And floor covering can be installed over pretty quickly depending upon how thick the material is applied. You can also mix it with a product called Planet Patch Plus. It's a liquid additive, or milk if you will, for additional strength, additional bond, and also you combine Planet Patch Plus with Planet Patch in a system to deal with embossing on existing vinyl flooring. When you mix the Planet Patch Plus full strength with Planet Patch, puts an initial coat down on that vinyl flooring, and then a diluted version of Planet Patch Plus with Planet Patch again on the surface of that in a two-coat system gives you a suitable substrate to install floor covering on top of an existing well-bonded vinyl flooring with embossing on it. Again, a very solid product, and we have a very excellent track record with this as well. Moving forward, we have a solution for skim coating, Planet Prep SC. This particular material has been specifically designed to work as a skim coating compound used over large surfaces. The photograph you saw at the beginning of the section was a contractor using Planet Prep SC skim coating an area of about 1,000 square feet. It is designed to fill minor imperfections. It is designed also to be applied in a fairly thin application. It is rapid setting. It's very highly polymer modified, so it has very good performance attributes to it. One thing I will mention, or just have a conversation with you online, and a lot of people have asked me for a compression strength reading on a skim coat material. Just want to make sure we're all clear that that's really not a relevant piece of data. Skim coats are designed to be applied at thicknesses from a feather edge to maybe 1/8 of an inch at most. Compression strength data are based on 2-inch cubes, and this material will never be applied in a 2-inch cube layer. So what we're dealing with materials that are skim coats is they do need to bond very well. They're very thin applications. Their functionality is really done by the polymer that's in there as well as the cement hydration process. They are resilient to a certain extent, so they can take some impact without deformation, but it doesn't really apply in this particular case to ask for compression strength data on skim coats. The next product in our product portfolio that we have available to you is a product called MAPEI Quick Patch. This is actually a product that's from our concrete restoration side of the fence, but we utilize it a lot in our FCIS business. It is a very fast setting exterior rated patching compound, sanded, and is used extensively for ramping and in some deep fill applications. And it's a very, very nice product to work with. The water ratio on MAPEI Quick Patch is somewhat variable, so that you can make something that is relatively easy to place, or you can hold some of the water back and make something that's very thixotropic for your ramping application. It can capable of being used up to 3 inches thick, and is an excellent solution for areas where you need a rapid set deep fill application. Probably not the right solution for patching and leveling underneath resilient flooring because of the slight granularity of the product. But it is a solution for you if you have to do deep repairs or major crack repairs that where the normal patch like Planet Patch or Planet Prep SC may take too long to cure out on. MAPEI Quick Patch is the solution for that application, and then come back over that with a light application of Planet Prep SC for your final finish. The next product in this category, I should be pushing the button here this way, is a product called Top Chem Premix. Again, where MAPEI Quick Patch is a fast set material for deep pours, if you are filling in a trench cut for plumbing or electrical in a concrete slab that's going 4 inches across and 6 inches deep, That's an awful lot of quick patch to fill into it, and that's when we recommend the use of screeds for that kind of material. And Top Chem Premix is one of those products in that category. It is an accelerated cured screed designed to be used in very thick applications and very deep applications. So you don't have to be looking for bags of somebody else's ready-mix cement. This is designed for this particular application. Also, it can be used in areas where you need to apply 2 inches thick of material in a large area where a self-leveler may become too expensive to use. Top Chem Premix is an excellent product to use as a screed for those particular types of applications. It is a faster setting version. Ceramic can be installed on top of that 1 day after placement. Non-breathable flooring systems typically within 3 days. It is a little thick and there's a little bit of water that needs to come off of that during the curing process. All right. The other product we have in that line, when, oops, where did that happen? Sorry, I'm moving too fast. Can you help me, Kelly, move back a slide? I can't remember how to do that. Are you with me? Nope.
Let me move you back, Jeff.
Please move the backup phase. There should have been a page for Top Chem Premix. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I must have missed a slide. I'll talk about it here as well. The other product we have in that screed category is the MAPEI Premix, the package you see, the second to the right on the bottom. That is a standard set screed as well. So here you have a chart for you, which is also available on the inside of our MAPEI's FCIS product catalog pages to give you some idea of how these products can be used. Planetex UNS, Planetpatch SC, MAPEI Quick Patch, Premix, etc. How long you have to wait before you can install ceramic tile and stone, how long you might have to wait for carpet resilient wood, and the compression strength as well. So you can see where I've got non-applicable for those things that are patching compounds, and screeds will definitely have a relative number. Again, these wait times for installation are all typically based on the maximum thickness application of the individual product. Those numbers will be reduced if you move it down the scale to a thinner application. Okay, so those are MAPEI's patch, skim coat, and deep fill recommendations for you. We're more than just a Planetpatch. So we have the next question for you. I'm curious, so this one, how many self-leveling products do you think MAPEI has to offer before we get in that section? Kelly?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and send this polling question out electronically for you all to answer. Just give me just a moment to get that out to you. And you should be seeing that now. Go ahead and take a moment, please, to answer the question. Give Jeff an idea of how many self-leveling products you think MAPEI has to offer. And
yes,
please
for those of you, it's a good question. It's also a little bit of a test question for me to find out how well my salespeople are working in the field with you. So we'll find out.
As you're answering the polling question, keep in mind that if you have additional questions for Jeff, keep those coming in the question area, and we will get those to him toward the end, and he'll get an answer for your question. And we're going to go ahead and close this poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me share those results with you, Jeff.
Very good. So, interesting. The correct answer, for those of you who are listening on the phone, is 11 at present. So more than 15. You're obviously listening to maybe some of the future speak that we're doing on product development coming down the line, but right now the answer is 11. And these are the solutions that we have for you. And actually, if you were paying attention previously, you could have done the count on that slide. Didn't realize I gave away the answer on that earlier. Anyway. Moving forward, our MAPEI's leveling solutions begin with Planetex SL35. This is a gypsum-based sanded version of a self-leveling underlayment designed for use in applications of 1/4 inch up to 3. It does come with a UL fire rating for 1 hour performance level when applied at 3/4 inch thickness on top of a plywood deck. And this stuff is, all this information is available on the UL website in case you want to actually verify that. You can find it out for real. has great flow properties. It is a traditional gypsum-based underlayment. It works well on plywood materials. It will also be installed over cement if you need it. But keep in mind, anytime you put cement next to gypsum or put cement on top of gypsum, you need to make sure it's primed properly, because there will be a chemical reaction creating an ettringite. I can't pronounce that word properly, but that's not a good situation. But a great product for the multifamily housing projects where fire retardancy and wood construction are important. The next product we have in the line is NovaPlan SP. Kind of going back to that photograph I have at the coffee shop, one self-leveler cannot do it all for us in this market. Many things are driven. We'll talk about the choices as to why we need to have all these options available to you. But in some cases, self-leveling needs to be done in what we would consider the down and dirty price level. NovaPlan SP is that particular product. It's a standard performance self-leveling underlayment. It is a base grade leveler for those particular applications. This is new to our product offering. We introduced this January of 2016 at the Surfaces Trade Show. It is a base grade leveler. It does a great job. It has compression strengths of over 3,600 psi, so it's ASTM F710 compliant. But it is the tool that you would want to pull out of your back pocket if you are competing against price and need that extra penny or two per square foot savings. So that is what it is. We'll talk a little more about its physical performances when we get to the table at the end of the slide. The next product is NovaPlan Easy Plus. Again, a traditional self-leveling underlayment. However, when you see on MAPEI's packaging the word easy, this means that it's a product that can be applied without profiling the concrete slab. They all require primers. We'll talk about those at the end of this presentation, but anything that has the word easy in it is one of those products that are shrinkage compensated and can be installed directly over properly prepared subfloors that are not necessarily shot blasted or scarified for performance. Okay, the next product we have in the line is NovaPlan 2 Plus. This is a traditional, good performance self-leveling underlayment, high strength self-leveling calcium aluminate cement material, but it does require a CSP or 2 or 3 for its performance and application. Again, this is NovaPlan SP, NovaPlan Easy Plus, and NovaPlan 2 Plus are your entry-level self-leveling underlayments. Another thing also to remember is when we use the word NovaPlan, these are the slower setting versions of MAPEI's product offering. I see I misspelled Nova Plan once, so take a mark off on that one. Moving next into the faster set versions of self-leveling underlayments. If I can get the clicker. UltraPlan 1 Plus we start off with. Whoops. Can you back me up?
I will do that. Let's go back. You want back to UltraPlan
1 Plus, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. No, I'm looking at M20. Here we go. UltraPlan 1 Plus is the first offering in a fast set version. This is one that you can accept foot traffic 2 to 3 hours. Ceramic tile can occur probably within 3 to 6. We'll have to look at the data, and resilient floor covering can be done as 12 to 16 hours later. But this is a very solid performer from MAPEI. High compression strength, faster setting, and excellent flow and handling characteristics. The next one in the line is UltraPlan Easy Plus. UltraPlan Easy. Please don't move. I'm clicking twice. I'm sorry, Kelly.
That's okay.
UltraPlan Easy, as you remember from my previous discussion, is a shrinkage compensated self-leveling underlayment. So in areas where you can't bring in the shot blasting equipment or the scarification equipment to prep a floor, that's when you start pulling out UltraPlan Easy or any of our Easy products for that application. Again, high compression strength, excellent flow properties, make UltraPlan Easy a great product for that application. UltraPlan M20 is a high compression strength, over 5,000 psi compression strength self-leveling underlayment in areas where you really need ultimate performance. You're going to have a lot of heavy rolling load. That is what this particular product is designed for. If you're dealing with very high performance applications, we may want to update the primer recommendation, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But this one, again, excellent flow properties, nice handling and high compression. Another new product we've added to the product offering is a product called UltraPlan LSC. And LSC stands for Liquid Skim Coat. This is an extremely high flow self-leveling underlayment, and we firmly believe that this product can take the place of skim coating on a cost basis, perhaps, and even a labor standpoint. I am very aware, and you should be as a contractor, are very aware of the time involved in doing skim coating. I was just on a construction site not too long ago in Chicago where we were working on a 1,000 square foot area of skim coating. That process took approximately 6 to 7 hours to do, from the initial cleaning of the subfloor, marking the low spots, trelling in the initial skim coat level, coming back with the sanding device after that first deep fill had cured, and then skimming it again and sanding again. A lot of activity, as well as a lot of sanding, which is an issue these days in the OSHA regulated job sites where you're trying to control the amount of silica dust that's generated. So there's a lot of time involved and a lot of on your hands and knees involved, and you really just generate a smooth floor. You never generate a flat floor. UltraPlan LSC is designed to take that place with a simple primer application, let that cure for an hour and a half to 2 hours, pour UltraPlan LSC from anywhere from a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch. It flows like chocolate milk onto the floor, has great handling, but cures to a very hard and flat finish. And that whole process could take essentially 2 hours to do that 1,000 square feet, as compared to the 8 hours or 7 hours it would take by hand to do the other stuff. So if you have not seen UltraPlan LSC in action, by all means ask your local MAPEI rep for a sample, get it on your next project, but I think you'll be quite pleased with that particular product. Another product we introduced also last year, which has actually taken off very well for us, is a product called UltraPlan Light. There are applications in various construction sites where you need to apply a very thick layer of self-leveling underlayment, but the structural strength of the building will not take the load. UltraPlan Light was designed specifically to provide a self-leveling solution that is about half the density of a normal leveler. Traditionally, levelers, including gypsum-based materials, are in that 120 to 128 pounds per cubic foot density. UltraPlan Light is in the 65 to 68 pounds per cubic foot density, so it is roughly half the weight. So in areas where you need to deal with structural load, UltraPlan Light is your solution. Also, that 25-pound bag is the same size as a 50-pound bag of material. And if you're tired of schlepping 50-pound bags up and down the hall, UltraPlan Light may be another solution. The one thing I will tell you and be honest with you about UltraPlan Light is a product that may take if you've done any self-leveling work at all, you'll know that you typically finish a self-leveler with a porcupine rollers, smoothers, and all that kind of stuff to make it work into a nice smooth surface. UltraPlan Light is a highly water mixed material, but there is a lightweight filler in there that gives it its lightweight properties. The more you work this material, the more that lightweight filler wants to come to the surface, like ice cubes in your drink. So my recommendations to people who are using this product is to mix, pour, maybe run a gauge rake over it, and then just let it go. Do not try to overwork that material, because you will develop a light cream on the surface, which is that lightweight filler, not necessarily what you want to have happen. As a consequence of the low working of this material, as we recommend, it's extremely suitable for the installation of things like carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. But if you are installing sheet vinyl on top of that, a skim coat of M20 or UltraPlan LSC will give you a very, very nice finish on which to bond to. But UltraPlan Light is an excellent solution for areas where you need lightweight. It also mixes extremely well and pumps extraordinarily well. So another solution for you to keep in mind for that. Another product in our category, which I consider this a little bit of a boutique situation, but in areas where you need to do self-leveling and you have virtually no time before you have to install flooring on top of it, UltraPlan Quick Traffic is your solution. This is an extraordinarily fast curing self-leveling underlayment. It still handles and flows just like our UltraPlan 1 Plus. It's got 10 to 12 minutes of heal time, but at about 55 minutes of this material being on the floor, it starts to react, kicks off a lot of heat, and then within an hour and a half, it is done, and you can start installing solid vinyl sheet flooring on top of it within 2 to 3 hours after application. It is, again, if you're working on a medical facility, for example, where you need to get in and out very quickly, this is a solution for you. There are some limitations on its application. You can't install this more than a ½ an inch thick at any given time because it generates so much heat. If you go any thicker than that, you'll wind up enough heat to warm up your room. It'd be a sauna in there and can blow itself off the floor. It's also very important that you have very good subfloor preparation on this, a CSP of 3 at minimum, so this product has something to grab into and lock into. But again, it's a great product to have as your back pocket to know in case you need to get into a self-leveling project that's in and out is the right solution for you. I think the last leveler we have in the mix is called UltraPlan Extreme 2. This is a unique product for us, and we developed this, quite frankly, for 2 specific reasons. It is an exterior rated self-leveling underlayment, which means that once it's installed, about 6 hours later, it could be exposed to rain without any kind of damage. Obviously, when it's cured, 72 hours, it could actually go through freeze-thaw cycles and function as a leveler. The 2 reasons that we've introduced this are, number 1, we brought it online for our wood flooring business. We're not talking about adhesives here in this particular presentation, but those of you who do know MAPEI know we manufacture several wood flooring installation adhesives that are moisture controlling solutions, as well as bonding steps, all in one step. All of the levelers and patches that I've mentioned before, with the exception of MAPEI Quick Patch, are not suitable for use underneath those moisture controlling solutions. So UltraPlan Extreme 2 is the self-leveling solution of choice underneath moisture controlling adhesive systems like 995 or 985 of our line. The other reason we introduced this is for go early projects where HVAC controls are not in place, in many cases where the walls and windows are not in place. This is the product that we will use in a Division 3 application where concrete slabs are just poured. We apply an epoxy moisture barrier over a broom finish concrete and finish it with a primer and this Extreme 2 leveler, and we solve an awful lot of problems for subsequent construction trades by having everything done well in advance of the interior finishings. A little bit about why this is important, and this is one of the brochures that you have for you to download, is MAPEI's Expedited Subfloor Preparation System. UltraPlan Extreme 2 is part of that, and it certainly does a lot of things for it, but it requires a little bit of effort to pitch this to the general contractor in advance. But that picture that you would see on the cover of that brochure is where this product lives. It definitely compresses the construction schedule, improves the overall project quality, reducing construction costs, it manages risks, and open that facility sooner. And one of the initial poll questions I asked you is, how often do you have to discuss moisture issues relative to any given flooring job? And most of you said almost all the time. Having MAPEI's system in place, even before the HVAC system gets done, the windows get put in place, eliminates that argument. It's done. All you need to do is brush off the surface of Extreme 2 and install floor covering without any delays. That's your benefit as a flooring contractor. For the general contractor, the benefit is even better than that, because now he has a dimensionally flat, predictable subfloor on which to work. You go back to that initial picture I showed you of a topographical chart of that concrete slab in the medical facility, where the variation was up to 2¼ of an inches thick differences. that all is going to have impact on how well that interior finishes goes through. Virtually, if you were to have to install a net floor without any subfloor prep, each cut is almost a custom cut. If you're building studs and cutting studs and stud walls, etc., everything has to be matched up to the subfloor. By using MAPEI's ESPS system, you wind up with a floor where everything is going to be a 96-inch studs. There's not going to have any questions about where the electrical outlets are going to go. Everything is done perfectly, and the time savings are inordinate. So that's why an Extreme 2 will help the general contractor a long time. So why is this product needed? Commercial fast-track construction practice require the preparation be done. That's, I basically repeated myself. That's what UltraPlan Extreme 2 is done. So in a nutshell, again, the self-leveling underlayments from MAPEI, you'll see the 11 that we have on the line here. This chart is also available to you on the inside of our FCIS catalogs, which are downloadable on the website, and you should be able to get one from your representative as well. Inside cover gives you some idea of their single lift application range, how long you have to wait before tile installation and for carpet and resilient, etc., and some construction strength data on the side as well. So that's MAPEI's offering for self-leveling underlayments. How do you pick? I mean, obviously with those 11 different products we have, how do you pick one? Again, price is something you always have to lead with. I like to say the value is what we sell, but many times it does come down to the dollars and cents. The NovaPlan system is typically the lower price points. The UltraPlans are higher. Obviously, when you get into some of those boutique products like Quick Traffic and others, things become a little bit more expensive. Whether or not you can do preparation like shot blasting or scarification. If you can't bring that equipment in for dust containment reasons or whatever, then you need to select one of our easy products that are there. Speed of set, how much time do you have to wait before the leveler goes down before you start installing floor covering, and that's the difference between the NovaPlans and the UltraPlans. The depth of use, you have to get into the product details, but you'll find areas where there are some limitations on how deep you can use our levelers on a single pour. Compression strength and density, or those are the kind of reasons that you would want to pick. Obviously a lot to choose from, but we need those choices. And speaking of choices, we'll spend a little bit of time here talking about MAPEI's primer solutions. And it would be nice if we could do this with just one product, but we have varieties of them. Primer L is probably our mainstay product line for porous concrete and for gypsum levelers. It is an acrylic-based material concentrated that you dilute on site with water at a ratio of probably 3 to 1. So a 5-gallon pail winds up being 20 gallons of material, but it is the right product for porous concrete and gypsum levelers. Primer T is a product for us that also does very well. This is more robust. It works over non-porous substrates as well as porous substrates. Dilutable also, but it enhances the performance adhesion of our self-levelers on top of ceramic tile without having, where you could not use Primer L. Okay. Moving on, we have another couple of unique ones. Again, these are products that may not be talked about much when you meet with our sales rep, but we have a water-based epoxy primer. This is the primer of choice if you cannot shot blast off an existing adhesive residue for one reason or another, or you have some sort of contaminant on the floor. You can use Primer WE, a water-based epoxy, mix the two together, apply to the subfloor, and winds up being an excellent primer over difficult to bond substrates. It's a very sticky and highly aggressive epoxy primer. The other ones we have in the line also are Primer CE. This is the consolidating epoxy. Sometimes you get on a concrete slab that doesn't have enough internal strength, or it's friable, it's too porous. Primer CE is a very low viscosity two-component epoxy that will help penetrate and lock that concrete surface up, which you can prime on top of that. Primer E is the next one. It is a two-component epoxy primer also. This one is designed to be used with a sand broadcast system. Again, applying part A and B on top of virtually any kind of substrate you deal with, and then a sand broadcast will provide for you a very strong and robust mechanical grab facility for self-leveling underlayment. So when I was mentioning back on UltraPlan M20, for example, if you're working with a very dynamic, heavy rolling load type of a solution, or that's the kind of insulation you're looking for, Primer E with sand is our recommended solution for priming of self-leveling underlayments. And let's see, Planabond EBA is another one that we offer. This is a part of our concrete restoration system as well, but this is a higher viscosity, 100% epoxy bonding solution, again with a sand broadcast. This is another solution where you need to stick to things like steel decks or some other high, difficult to bond substrates to go forward. And again, the last one we have in our line is EcoPrim Grip. This was primarily developed for our TSIS business in tile over tile solutions, but EcoPrim Grip over concrete slabs and others will take the place of shot blasting. It's a sanded, gridded acrylic primer solution that will bond to a wide variety of substrates and do an excellent job of providing a surface on which to grab. Again, roller applied, water-based system, easy to clean up and no mixing. Here again is the chart for primers for self-leveling underlayments. You can see we have quite a few to pick from. We're not just a one-trick pony here. And depending upon your application and need, we have the solution for you. Okay, again, how do you pick the primer? The substrate type drives a lot of those kind of conditions, the substrate condition, and the level of performance that you're looking for. Okay, now I think I'm blazed through some of this because I'm getting a little bit short of time. I'd like to get some question and answers, but here are a couple of brief solutions on how MAPEI combines all of these products to provide system solutions. Low-level mitigation system is Planet So Easy with Planet Prep SC. Basic moisture mitigation and leveling system is VS Primer T and NovaPlan 2+. And again, another ways to get to it, fast track solutions, VS Fast, Primer T, UltraPlan Quick Traffic, and going forth, lightweight solutions, Primer L, UltraPlan LSC, Light, etc. You'll get the general idea what we're talking about here. So I know we're right before lunch for some of you on the East Coast, and I apologize for this, but depending upon what you look for, MAPEI has a simple bologna and bread solution, or we can stack it up to the Dagwood sandwich depending upon what you're particularly looking for. And with that, the last polling question I have for you, I'm curious a little bit about that, and then we can get into the questions and answers if we have time. Kelly, do you want to bypass this question and go to, we have questions on deck?
We do have a few questions for you, Jeff, if you'd like me to give those to you.
Let's bypass this question and just go to the questions and answers, if that's all right.
Absolutely. Okay, our first question came in earlier during this session. So Chuck wants to know, PlanetSeal Easy reduces emission rate to 3 pounds. How does it reduce RH?
Well, okay, it doesn't necessarily reduce the RH. The RH is kept under control, and you're creating a barrier between that concrete slab's RH and the adhesive performance above it. It does control the rate of emission because moisture vapor emission rates, calcium chloride tests, are rates. And as soon as you put a filter on top of it, it slows down the rate in which that moisture is moving through the system. So that's my answer for you on that one.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff. Any other questions? Keep them coming in as we go along. And as I said, if we don't get to your question, we will make sure that we get it forwarded to Jeff. Another question for you. What is the PSI on quick traffic?
The PSI on quick traffic, I think if you go back to the chart, was 7,250 PSI, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very, very hard material and very, very hard. Yes.
Perfect. All right.
Jason, if there are no other questions, I would like to explain to the contractors what we've got in terms of a promotional activity. Can we do that?
Absolutely. Let me get that on for you.
a little bit of, while she's doing that, since this is a MAPEI advertisement in some sort of another, this is MAPEI's 80th anniversary. We got started in 1937 in Milan, Italy, under the direction of Rodolfo Squinzi. We are celebrating our 80th anniversary with a, if I can get to this particular slide, a grand prize giveaway. Where is my, can we make this a little bit larger or not?
Absolutely. Let me change that for you, Jeff.
Thank you. This is a contractor promotion, so this is relative to those of you who are on the phone, which are contractors. This is our 80th anniversary giveaway. We are giving away, scroll down if I can do it, a very fancy Arctic Cat ATV, the Wildcats, or if you prefer something in the northern part of the country, we'll give away an Arctic Cat snowmobile. That's the first prize for the contest. Fancy bicycle, or if we move down a little bit further, some drones to keep track on your crews while you're working in the office. It's a very simple process to register to win. This is for contractors. For every $100 of MAPEI products purchased, you get one entry into the drawing for this. The drawing will be held, I think, in December of this year, and the winner will be announced at the Surfaces 2018. But if you get to our website, on the home page, you will see this grand prize giveaway information. Scroll across the top of our banner. You'll see up on the top the rules and the entry form. I'm not going to necessarily click into that, but we appreciate your support. Help us celebrate a little bit. Enter to win a chance to win one of these great prizes. And just want to make sure you're aware of that. This is new. It was announced at the Surfaces trade show last month, and I'm not sure if it's gotten to you yet, but please pay attention to that. Okay, back to you, Kelly. Anything?
Okay, great. All right, I'm going to go take us back to where we were, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this session up. And also, I believe, Jeff, you will be at the Commercial Flooring Trade Show at the FCICA convention next month?
That's correct. Look forward to seeing everybody there.
Great. So you can visit with Jeff there face-to-face and ask him all the questions that you like. But our time for today is drawing to a close. We'd like to thank MAPEI for sponsoring today's webinar, and especially thank Jeff Johnson for taking the time to present it for us. If you'd like more information about MAPEI's product line, you can visit their website, mapei.com, and then go over to the U.S. section of their website. Again, visit Jeff. Come and visit us at the FCICA convention in March. Jeff will be there at the trade show on March 6th. And you can always email me, kelly@fcica.com, and I will forward you any information that you need. And then for our manufacturer members out there, if you're interested in participating in one of these promotional webinars, you can contact me again. My email, kelly@fcica.com. And thanks so much for joining us today, and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.